Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, today is the day. I'm planning on putting this K24 into the track Civic today. It's a big day, let's go. Alright guys, so over here I've got a couple of goodies. I think I'm gonna be putting the wiring on the motor so I can tuck it all without it being in the engine bay. So it'll be a bit more easier for me to route things out here. So here we have the elusive conversion harness, and then we've got the jumper harness here, ElusiveRacing. I've also got the alternator and starter motor harness, and we've got a couple of extra earths because I know that these have alternator issues. So if you don't put enough earths in them, yeah, they play out with the alternator. Alright, so pretty much it's going to go like this, and this is going to go over there. So we got pretty much two sections here. So pretty much self-explanatory. This one probably goes over here, and then this section here goes all over here to the manifolds and injectors. They're all labeled. So like this is your speed sensor, rev, you know, ECT. These are, you know, 1 and 2 for the coils. These come down here. That's down here. These are all your crank. This should be your, yeah, see, CKP, oil pressure, VTS. So yeah, it's all pretty much self-explanatory. So we'll go ahead and hook it up. Okay, VTS is there. Oil pressure goes here. This is VCT. Should go up here. Alright, pretty good. And we got crank position sensor, so it should go down here. This one here. Little issue, the crank position sensor plug doesn't actually fit into the OEM sensor. So there's this little tab on the side here. I think I'll need to shave that off. So there's a little tab here. I'm going to shave it off with a razor blade, and hopefully it'll be able to fit in. Alright guys, so I've shaved off the little sections at the end here, and voila. Alright, crank position sensor done. Alright, so I'm gonna secure these later. So there, make it all look nice up against here. Make sure it's not rubbing anywhere. Right, so I just had an idea. I'm gonna try and incorporate these plastic pieces into my engine harness just to make it look a little bit better, so we don't have harnesses all hanging around doing nothing. So I'm gonna try and incorporate this, fit it into here, make it look all factory and OEM. I don't know, could be a waste of time, could look pretty good, we'll see. Alright, so I've just painted gloss black all these plastic brackets here. So these are going to be on the harness, so we'll just let that dry for a little bit. Right guys, so we moved to the intake side. So I'm going to try and hide my injector connectors here. So I'm going to go through the manifold instead of up around the throttle body, and then it comes over here. So I'm going to try that. So we got, this is H2O, so coolant. What do we have here? Coolant TPS. So TPS goes here. That. What do we have? IAT, intake air temperature. So that's going to go on my intake pipe. Map sensor. So map sensor up here. So I'll figure out a way to route this nicely. What's this? Intake air temp. And this one here is alternator. So alternator over here. Alright. So is that it? Alternator. Alright, clicked in. Okay. So these are extra wires. So if you want to run more sensors on your intake, and you've got these little plugs here that you can take out, and you can run whatever you want with them. So that's that. This is IAC, but we deleted ours, so this should be here, and you hook it up with your coolant lines, but we've deleted it, so we can move that out of the way. What else do we have? Alright, this was a knock sensor. So pretty much the plug that came with the harness doesn't actually fit the OEM knock sensor. So you can see it's a totally different shape. This one here is like a oval shape, and this one here is like a massive plug. It's still one wire going in, but yeah, so I had to cut it, and luckily I've got a donor motor over here, a spare motor. I've actually got the right OEM plug here. So this one goes in. I've cut the harness to suit. So I'm gonna just trim it back a little bit and solder her up, and then yeah, that should be it. Alright, starter signal. So that just goes a little spade. It goes in here. Right, just letting the soldering iron there heat up. So I just pretty much stripped it back like this. I know there's proper ways of doing it, but I'm just a strip back and twist kind of guy. If you at least solder it, yeah, it should hang on. So I recommend you soldering it instead of just cutting back, twisting, and putting electrical tape on it, because this will vibrate and then it might come loose, and that's a knock sensor. So that's a very, very important sensor. Just a bit of light. Yeah, looks pretty good. So it's not going to pull apart. Alright guys, so now that's two issues that we've had with the Elusive K-swap harness. So the first one was the crank position sensor. We had to shave off the sensor, the little tabs, so we can fit the plug in. And this is our second issue, the knock sensor. It didn't fit. The supplied knock sensor didn't fit, so we had to the plug didn't fit, so we had to borrow one from a donor motor here. This is my brother-in-law's. So I had to borrow the plug and soldered it up, made it look all sort of okay. Alright, so now we're gonna do the power supply for the starter motor and the alternator. So you had to purchase them separately, so I'll go ahead and grab it. Alright, so here they are, starter motor with the eyelets, and then alternator here. I believe these go to the fuse box in the engine bay, so we'll just go ahead and figure out a way to route these. Alright, so I've just done it like this. This is gonna go down when I tighten the nut. I'll hook this up together like this. I'll just clamp it up with the cable tie, and so this will all be as one coming under here, nice and neat. Starter motor's over there. Do the same thing. Starter motor one there, follow this main harness here, hook that up there. Once we get all the brackets on, coming up here, and then they're just gonna follow the main. They're just gonna follow the main engine harness over there. So we'll just go ahead now, tighten that starter motor. Not too tight. Yep, that's on there. Double check. Alright. Alternator. Little 10mm nut. It's on there. Doesn't have to be too tight. Cool. Alright. Looking good, looking good. Alright, we'll hook up the injectors now. See how that looks. Alright guys, so I ended up taking the rail out and tucking it behind this brackets here. So it looks a little bit more cleaner. So there's nothing at the back there, so yeah, looks good. Right, so our plastic harness holders are all dry now, so we'll go ahead and put them on. Right, so this is what I mean by the OEM connector box. So this is the harness here, and this is the OEM, I guess, harness junction. So I want to kind of use it, try to hide all the harnesses and stuff, so it looks pretty good. I routed it all up, made it all nice, so we'll go ahead and do this section here now. It's all done. I managed to fit the OEM harness holder here too, modified it a little bit to fit the larger wiring for the obviously for the starter motor and the alternator. But no, it looks all neat, so we can tell where everything goes. Nothing's rubbing. We're not gonna have any electrical issues, hopefully. So it's super duper neat. Everything is all tucked, so no messy wiring at all. I just gotta swap the vehicle speed sensor plug, so I've got to get this is different. The elusive plug won't fit, so I just got to get a different plug and cut and solder that one, so I'll leave that there. But no, it looks super neat now. No messy wiring like all the other K-swaps, so I'm super happy with this now. Alright guys, that took a little bit longer than I expected, so it's getting pretty Arvo now, it's getting pretty dark. So yeah, I'm super happy with this now. So let's go ahead and set the engine mount in, and we'll drill holes into the chassis. Right, so I've set the top engine mount in. I've put the bolts in, so the 2 bolts here. So we go ahead and quickly drill before it gets a bit dark. So 1 and 2 there. Alright guys, so we just drilled our 10mm holes here. So we'll put the bracket on and make sure everything's okay. So there's the bracket. Set that on like that. And we'll feed this guy down. Alright guys, so the top engine mount is in. So I've only slightly fitted on just to get a rough look at it. Because I've got to spray, because I've drilled holes there, I've got to treat it with rust proof now. Let it settle, and then I'm going to give it a quick spray paint with the grey that I bought from Super Cheap Auto. Of course it's going to rust, it's going to have big holes in a couple of years, but we don't want that, so we're going to treat it now. We'll go ahead now and put the back engine mount on. So we'll go ahead now and the gearbox mount in. So this is the gearbox. So this sits like this. Alright guys, so the engine mount is in. So I'll just leave it loose like this until I get the engine and gearbox up, and then I'll be able to just hook it up. I'm just thinking anything else that I need to do before we put the engine and gearbox in, because there'll be hardly no space. So I think the only thing left is just to treat this with the rust proof, sand it all down, and then we'll give it a coat of paint. So as you saw in the previous video, I started mounting up all the engine mounts, getting ready to drop the motor in. I went to bed, had to think about it, and yeah, it's just gonna do my head in. So if I drop the engine mount, just little things in the engine bay, it's just doing my head in, like the rust spot back here. These brackets are all rusted still. Still got a little bit of dirt accumulating now. Just some bolts are all rusty and stuff that I want to get rid of. So while the motor is out, I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to do it once, do it right. As Sonic 203 says, it's all about the details, baby. So I'm going to do it once, do it right. There's some rust over here that I need treated. Some rust there. So I've already started putting the rust converter on this side here where I drilled the holes. So yeah, all I gotta do now is I'm gonna try and take off all these pipes here, just so I can get a nice spray on them. So I'm gonna go ahead, try to take out these brake lines without stripping them. Okay, so the cylinders there, one of the, I think that's the right hand supply, brake supply. So we got this guy here, one left, 2, 3 left, and then we'll take the valve out. Alright, so everything is pretty much off the firewall now. So I'm just going to give it a wipe with a bit of Mepho. So Mepho is what we call in Australia methylated spirits. So I've got a ton of this lying around, so I'm just going to use it. It's for general cleaning and window cleaner. So we'll just get a wipe all this shit down the whole engine bay pretty much. Alright guys, so I just started sanding the engine bay with just a really light sandpaper. I don't even know what grade this is, 320. So we want to just get rid of the clear. We don't want to go all the way down. We don't want to go to bare metal, and we don't want to get rid of the primer. We just want to get rid of the clear coat, and then it should be enough for the paint to stick. So just get rid of the clear coat, top round, nothing too fancy. I've done a little bit of painting, but I haven't done a whole lot, but I've done enough to know a little bit, and it seems to work. So can't spend too much money on an engine bay. I'd rather spend it on suspension and stuff like that. So you just want to get rid of the clear so that it sticks. Alright, so I've pretty much got all the clear off. You don't want to go down to bare metal, we just want to take off the clear. So I've got a bucket on the water here, and we're just going to take off the dirt. So let's see. I'm just going to take off a bit of the dust. Just keep rinsing it. Like I told you, I'm no panel beater, I'm no spray painter. But I've done it like this before. Seems to have worked. So just I'm gonna get some of that residue dust off. Alright guys, so I'm gonna hit it with a bit of this zinc for the rust protection on this lower bit of the
radiator support here because it's got a lot of rust. I had to grind out these brackets to fit my brand new radiator. So I'm going to use these two, and then I'm going to make up another bracket for the left side. So I had to cut these the old brackets off. It had a half radiator, half condenser. So we're using a full radiator now, so we don't need these brackets. So I'm just going to give it a hit with this rust proofing here. So we should treat it. So there's a bit of rust here, and over here too, where it joins out, there's a little bit of rust there, so I'll just hit it with a bit of rust. Treater. Alright, should be good. Alright, so that's all. We'll just give that a little bit of time to settle. Alright, so that's all treated now. Alright, so we're going to start masking up all the bits now so we can get ready to spray. So there's not that much dust on there. I've gone through it 3 times. So once with a clean rag in the Mefo, twice again, and 3 times now with a clean rag, and there's nothing left. Alright, so pretty much another day of mucking around here with the track Civic. Late decision to strip out everything and repaint the engine bay. So I'm kind of happy that I did it, but it's yeah, it's taking a bit of time. So I've pretty much just taken all the brackets and bolts off, and I've scuffed up the paint. I didn't go too far in to the metal. I just tried to take off a clear. I tried to not get too much to the primer because we're just putting on normal paint. So yeah, hopefully she doesn't flake and it's all good. Alright guys, so I've just done a little section here off camera because I just needed to concentrate. But yeah, no, it's come out really good. I like the color. It's actually pretty close to OEM. So the color is sick. So I've just done the strut tower because I just wanted to concentrate, so I didn't record, but it's bloody good, eh? Alright guys, here it is. This is the final product. I still gotta put the clear on, but it looks bloody awesome. It was worth the day just prepping everything up. Make a huge difference once we get our motor is sitting inside, looking beautiful. Our engine bay is all nice and clean. No scratches on the strut towers and shit like that. The only thing that I'm just a bit fussy about is I've got a little bit of overspray on the subframe that I sprayed black, but yeah, apart from that, no, she's all good. Alright, so it's been about 2 hours now, and I've actually let it dry a bit. So it's touch dry now, so we're gonna go ahead and hit it with this clear. So I'll start from the back of the firewall. Alright guys, so I just applied the last coat of clear onto the engine bay. I think it looks freaking sick now. So I guess we're just gonna let this dry now. What else is there left to do? So pretty much the only thing left now is to put that motor into this engine bay here now. So can't wait for that. We're gonna let this dry overnight, and someday this week I'll be able to make another video for you guys. Right, so if you want to see more on the Track Civic, check out the other videos that I've done. Don't forget to like and subscribe, tell all your mates, and I'll see you guys on the next video.